Hey everybody, welcome to the 22nd episode of Ask Bricksie, where I answer your questions from the comments section below. If you want your questions featured in the next episode, make sure you comment down below with those questions. The first one here is, what are you most excited for with your upcoming move to the larger studio? And do you have any mock ideas for once you get the city established? And this is from John Bacca 8475. What am I most excited about? More space. Definitely the space thing. Yeah, more space for the city specifically. I cannot wait for that. Also, I'm most excited about more space for the actual studio area as well, where I do my filming. That is just like essential, like my filming and my building, just because there's not a whole lot of room down here. So I'm really excited about the efficiency that this new studio is going to bring to this channel. The different types of content with building the city as well, expanding the city in a much bigger way. Do I have any mock ideas? We're going to be focusing a lot on landscaping a lot. So there's going to be a lot of landscaping mock building, such as mountains and hills, a larger ocean, an island. There's going to be some train yard mocks. There's going to be all sorts of train track style mocks as well. There's going to be subway mocks. There's going to be all sorts of stuff. In regards to like modular buildings, I'm not too sure. I know I was talking about building a Home Depot. But to be honest with you, our downtown core is already quite developed. So I don't really have any plans to build any custom modular buildings. However, when we start getting these hills and landscaping and everything, it will be interesting to build like cottages and stuff and sort of increase the size of the landscape with more forests and trees and do more medieval style stuff as well, and just sort of make it like a really cool fantasy area. And I'm sure there's all sorts of little mini mocks that could go throughout a larger forested area. Like I built a cabin in the campground. I also built like a pub for the medieval area. So more things like that just sort of randomly throughout the landscape that I plan to add. I'm really excited about using what I have, spreading it out, and creating more landscapes around the entire layout. That's sort of what I'm going to be focusing on mainly when I get established at the new place. Triple MJS3IR asked me about the injection mold and asked if I try to hide it whenever I'm building. I'm like 50-50, I'd say. For example, when I'm putting window glass in windows, I usually try to have that injection mold on the window, like in the inside on the bottom. I'm usually pretty particular about the windows specifically. Sometimes I forget to hide the injection mold. I'm not like crazy about it. Like I'm not like so particular. Some people are like they have to have the Lego logos facing all the way, all the same way when they're like doing art and stuff. I'm definitely not like that. I would say the only time I'm really conscious about it is when it's like really noticeable. But beyond that, I'm not really too concerned about it. Jose is somebody that's always very particular about where that injection mold is located. But when it comes to windows, I am definitely pretty conscious of that. Sorry if you can hear my kids playing on their little table just above me here. Their table's literally right there. But yeah, I'm not really too conscious about it other than when it comes to windows. Thank you for all your hard work and content. It really makes my day seeing your videos. Well, thank you, Snowcaster. Do you like it when fans come up to you and ask for a picture when you're out? Yeah, I think it's cool. I'm always down for getting my picture with fans and they come up. I think it's really cool. I'm not the best at making and hosting conversations out and about. And usually when I'm out and about, I'm so laser focused on my task, whether I'm at the Lego store, I'm like filming at the Lego store, or I'm packing cups at the Lego store. I for sure host conversations with people all the time, but sometimes like when I'm like busy doing something and somebody comes up to me, hey, how you doing? Oh yeah, get a picture, absolutely. But I don't really have like 10-15 minute conversations with people. But I think a lot of people understand that I'm in the middle of producing a video or whatever it may be, so I don't always have the time to have a 10-15 minute conversation with everybody, but I usually talk for a minute or so and we get a snap, and it's really cool. It sort of makes my day. I really do enjoy it. It's awesome. It's fantastic. It mostly happens at the Lego store, and of course at Lego conventions. Doesn't really happen out and about that often. Like sometimes it does. Like sometimes I'm at like Staples or something and somebody's like, hey, it's Bricksie. I'm like, yeah, it's Bricksie. Cool. So it is actually, it is pretty neat. It's a feel good moment, that's for sure. Lego Shorts 23 says, question for next episode. What made you start building the Lego City instead of just buying Lego sets to build and display on shelves only? It all started with the detective's office for me. I bought the detective's office, and as soon as I bought that detective's office, I knew that I was going to start building a city. Then I sort of just acquired more modular buildings because I wanted to build just like a little street scene that technically could go on a shelf. I just wanted to have a street with some modular buildings. And then I started looking on YouTube, and I started seeing spectacular Lego cities. And after I saw that, I was like, man, I want to build a city because I feel like you just get more from the hobby when you're building a crazy city. However, they consume a lot of space. My original motivation was honestly Jangbrick's channel when I saw his like big Lego City overview as Lego City whatever. It's just like one of his most viewed Lego City videos ever, and I was really inspired by that. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to build a Lego City, and just the modular buildings were so detailed and so much fun to build. So that's why I just feel like I got more from the hobby, and I was inspired by other people that had Lego cities, and I really wanted one myself. Joseph Harrison asked, what vehicles would you like to custom build for your city? I know for me, it was semis and snowplows. Semis are cool. They take up a lot of space, though. Snowplows are neat, but I don't really have any snow in my city. I feel like if you're going to do snow, I've got to add like a lot of snow somewhere, or maybe just have like a snowy region. And when I actually build the new Lego City layout and I put the ski hill in the Lego City, there will be a snowy region in my Lego City along with the winter village. It's going to be permanent in the cities. So yeah, maybe some snowplows. That would be neat. I've never really given this question any thought. I do think like delivery vehicles, like standardized vehicles that you would see in a city. So like buses, like you all have all the same buses. It's like the Edmonton Transit buses are all the same, other than whichever year they're released. But just having like a bunch of the same buses would be neat. Maybe a yellow school bus would be neat too. That's a great idea. Delivery vehicles, I guess, having consistent delivery vehicles, whether it's like FedEx or Purolator or Canada Post or whatever, Canada Post vehicles, that would be cool. Just things that are like, you know, recognizable, and you see them quite frequently, and there's usually like a fleet of them on the road. I have two questions related to the next modular building, which will actually have a superhero background. Brickmotion asks, with the new Lego City layout in the new place, will you build some custom Marvel locations like Oscorp or the Fantastic Four building? And then Teclonius Games asks, which Marvel or DC location would you like to see turned into a Lego set next? In my opinion, I'd like to see the X-Mansion or the Daily Planet. So Oscorp building, fantastic. X-Mansion, fantastic idea. The Daily Planet, I think that's awesome as well. And the Fantastic Four building, the Baxter building, those are all great. I think of all those, what I would like to see the most, I don't know, probably not Oscorp. I can't really visualize Oscorp personally. I think the Fantastic Four building would be really neat, but I think the Daily Planet would be really neat as well. And same with the X-Mansion. All of those would be so good. They need to make those in Lego for sure. What else could they do, though? I think a new updated Arkham Asylum would be really cool. I think they could make a really neat, detailed, modular style Arkham Asylum. We've got some Arkham Asylums in the past. In fact, I have one here in the Lego room. I think it's right up there. Or maybe even Star Labs, something from The Flash. That would be cool. A Star Labs. Not bad. Something else from Batman that we could get is a Wayne Manor with the Batcave below. They gave us the Batcave shadow box. They didn't give us the Wayne Manor on top. It would be really neat to see like Wayne Manor and the Batcave below. That would be epic. That's what they should have given us. That would have been so cool. They could also do Wayne Tower. That would be pretty neat. Nice Wayne Tower. Anything else in the DC universe? I can't... Oh, maybe the Hall of Justice. That would be sweet, too. They could do so many minifigures with any of those recommendations. The Hall of Justice would be pretty sweet. What's Superman's called? It's like the Fortress of Solitude? Is that it? The Fortress of Solitude? But I think what LEGO has to consider is, are these going to sell as well as, say, the Daily Bugle or the Avengers Tower or the Sanctum Sanctorum? In the Marvel Universe, they could do a detailed modular style of the Avengers Campus, but they just gave us the Avengers Tower. What else could they do in Marvel, though? The X-Mansion is a great one because they could just do so many cool minifigures in that one. I think Tony Stark's mansion would be super cool to do as well, with like the garage and the Hall of Armor and just like his like living room and kitchen and stuff. That would be super cool. Maybe like a giant teddy bear and just for Pepper Potts. That would be neat. I just don't know how they would execute that because it'd have to be such a large set. And I don't think it would sell as well as, say, the Avengers Tower. They've already knocked it out of the park for Marvel, in my opinion. The Daily Bugle, the Sanctum Sanctorum, the Avengers Tower, like, those are all really good. I'd like to see some from the DC universe, I guess. I'm sure there's a lot more that they could do, but those are some of the ones that are sort of percolating in my brain right now. Mullet Brick Empire. Love the username. It's fantastic. How does it feel to live in Alberta, Canada? Are you planning on moving from there, or are you going to stay with your family? I'm going to stay with my family here in Edmonton. What I like about Edmonton right now, like particularly right now, is it's very affordable. Anywhere around Edmonton, the housing costs, like major cities, the housing cost has gone through the roof. Calgary, just 3 hours south of us, has started going up. Kamloops in British Columbia, 8 hours away from us, is like skyrocketed in value. BC in general, very expensive. I'm for sure not going to move to Saskatchewan, Manitoba, or Ontario. Not going to move to those provinces. I'm going to stay right in Alberta. I feel like Alberta has a really strong economy. I really like Alberta. It can get a bit cold, but the weather is actually getting better. In the winters, it's not getting as cold and as for long. Like, I feel like we're on the up from that. I really like how affordable the housing is in Edmonton right now. I think it's going to go up. I think it has a lot of great potential to go up. I think I would stay in a main city as well. At least for when my kids are growing up. Once my kids move out, Jose and I, we might do something different. But that's one of the reasons why we went the route of getting the warehouse for the new studio, which is here in Edmonton, rather than moving to an acreage and building something on the property. We were thinking of doing something like that before, but just we thought the negatives of living out of the city outweighed the benefits that we would have. We were going to buy an acreage, have the house, and then build some sort of large Lego structure. And we were thinking about doing that for quite some time. But then we were like, okay, but now we're not going to live in the city. We're far away from family. To bring the kids to soccer practice or to school every day, you're now at a rural school, or you got to bring them into the city every day. Go to a movie, you've got to drive to the city. To go get groceries, you've got to drive into the city. So we didn't really want to get an acreage for that reason. When you get an acreage, you've got a lot of land that you've got to maintain. So you got to mow a lot of grass. You've got to get a bobcat for your driveway. There's just a lot more maintenance involved with getting an acreage. So we're going to stay in Alberta and we're going to stay in a city. But when the kids grow up and they move out, maybe Jose and I will move to Canmore or somewhere near the Rocky Mountains, somewhere nice that's not like as big of a city. Maybe Canmore. Canmore would be nice because it's just like, you know, like it's like 30 minutes, 40 minutes from Banff, which is really cool. So there could be potential for something like that in the future when we're like retired and we want to have like a beautiful mountain home or something like that. That would be really cool. I think we're in our forever home, and that's why we went the warehouse route, because we wanted to free up this basement so we can make this our forever home, and now we have like a place of work and a place of home, and we're really sort of sold on that idea. So we're really excited about that, and I don't think we'll ever move away from Alberta. I think we really love Alberta, Canada. Yeah. Although one reason I don't like living in Canada is because we don't have access to the TikTok Creator Fund. I've got like 1.5 million followers on TikTok. I get millions of views each month, and I don't earn a single dime from it. And I was reading about the TikTok Creator Fund. In fact, I do it all the time. There are people in the United States that literally almost earn a living off how many views I get on TikTok. So it is really unfortunate that I don't have access to that revenue stream through TikTok. And you can do that if you move to the United States. Not that we're ever going to move to the United States. Oh, but one thing we might do is we potentially want to get like some sort of timeshare, or maybe not a timeshare, but like stay at an Airbnb or do something like when we're older, go to like Orlando for like a month or two. Go to Disney World for like 2 months and just hang out in Florida during the cold weather here. There's a lot of snowbirds that do that. They go to like Arizona for the winter months. Like they have a house here in Edmonton and then they have a house in Arizona, and they call them snowbirds, and they go down south and they chill out for the winter, for the coldest months in Arizona, and then they come back to Edmonton and live the nice months up here. So we could do that in the future too, and maybe do that in Orlando because we love Disney World so much. That's all just ideas though. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. It seems pretty crazy. It seems pretty hard to manage. I've never, like, I could see myself doing it, but not really. I could maybe just go on like a month-long vacation or something like that when we're older. Yeah, that's about it. I'm sorry, I really rambled on about that question quite a bit, didn't I? But yeah, that's just sort of where we're at. Sky Brickowski asked if I ordered any of the new Bricklink designer program sets. Yes, I ordered them all. Short and sweet answer for you. I just one of each. I really like the look of them, and I'm fortunate that I have the ability to review Lego, build Lego live. It is part of operating the business, is getting those sets, and I think those sets are going to look fantastic in the new layout. So I decided to get them all. And I did that on February 7th, the morning of. Oh, I got a funny story, actually. I was trying to make this short and sweet, but I got a funny story for you. It was February 7th. We were standing in line for the Cars ride because we were in Disneyland for Jose's birthday, and that's when the Bricklink Designer Program sets went live. And I'm sitting there in the queue, refreshing my page on my phone, Luckily we were on a long ride, so I'm trying to refresh it. Oh, it's too busy. And then there's a gentleman in front of me with his family, and we shared a car with him on the Cars ride. And he's like, what are you doing right now? Are you trying to order the new Bricklink sets? I'm like, yes, I am. He's like, oh, so am I. I'm trying to order them too. And he's like, wait a minute, you're Bricksie. I'm like, yes, I am. And he's like, oh, wow, small world. We shared a car on the Cars ride, and both of us in the queue were trying to order the Bricklink Designer Program sets on the morning of February 7th. It was hilarious. BDD Builds, do you think Lego would ever consider expanding the LAN to including content creators that specialize in mock building and not set reviews? Lego would send parts from the PAB factory instead of sending sets, and the creators would showcase the various things you could do with Lego parts outside of building sets. They sort of indirectly do that right now. Nah, not really, I guess, but they do support lug groups. Like, there are lots of lug groups that are groups of people that build epic things, and they offer them lug bulk. They offer those parts at a discount. You can order them in bulk, so a bunch of people or members of a lug group can place one large order and get parts for discounts, and then those people of that group divvy it all up and they build mocks with it. But it's not free. I think they should do that, and also I think they should offer LAN members that are already part of LAN the opportunity to order parts using their support, because we get different support packages, and I think we should be able to use that support and order bulk pieces. I've never asked them if we could do that, but as far as I'm aware, you can't, but maybe I need to look into it, but I'm on probation right now. I think they should do that, but if you become an ambassador, I think you should be able to get Lego parts for free to show people how to build things, how to build custom things. I think it's a great idea. They should do that 100%. And I need to look into it when I'm back off probation to see if I can use my support orders to order parts, because I'm going to need parts more so than sets when we get the new studio. Like, it's going to be more important to me to have bulk parts to build cool things that are custom, my own design, like landscapes and buildings, rather than reviewing sets. Although I want to continue getting sets as well. But I'll have to look into it because I want to get some bulk parts. I need to, and I'm going to have to order them anyway. They should do exactly what you're saying. Thomas Golds asks, what role do you think AI plays for the future of LEGO? Will it lower costs as they need fewer employees, or will it not play much of a role? Their factories are already pretty automated. They're pretty automated. It's not like there's a gentleman there packing the bags. Like, it's a pretty crazy warehouse. I've never seen it personally, but when I was in Denmark, one of the main guys of LAN, his name is Jordan also, he was telling us all about the factory and how it's animated, how these machines go, and they get the parts, and they package them all, and it's all pretty automated already. I don't foresee LEGO prices going down. I don't foresee prices going down, unfortunately. Once a price goes up on something like LEGO, I don't think they go down just because it's just the way it is, unless demand significantly goes down. Because their factories are already pretty automated and like pretty advanced. And their prices have gone up to reflect the demand, and I don't foresee them going down. Kathy asks, will you be keeping some LEGO sets in the basement like the Disney ones for Jose, or is everything going to move? I think everything's going to move. Yep, I think everything's going to move. My film studio, which is going to be on the far end there, might have a LEGO backdrop of a couple cabinets or something like that. But that's unlikely. I think everything is going to move. We might keep one or two pieces of art here. No, I think everything's going to move. Because Jose is going to be over there quite often, so she's going to be able to enjoy the sets that she likes. And I'm going to be over there like almost every day, probably 5 days a week, like a normal job. So I'm going to see it every day. So when I come home from work, I don't really need to see it anymore. I've been looking at it all and dealing with it all day. So I'm okay if it's all over there. I mean, there might be a odd set here or there here, maybe that I'm building or working on, or I'm filming a review on, and it's processing and it's waiting to be moved over there. And like I said, maybe there'll be like one cabinet or something over there on that end of the basement where I plan to have a little film studio set up. DH Lego Battler asks a question in relation to Disney trains, specifically the Disney monorail train, and if I plan on adding one to my amusement park. And he also thanks me for inspiring him to build his Lego city. Well, thank you. I'm just going to keep the regular Disney train on its track. I don't think I'm going to ballast the line that goes around the amusement park this time. I think it's just going to be different than that. I don't think it's going to be ballast. I haven't quite decided, but for sure the Disney train and also the Hogwarts Express is going to be going around my amusement park just like it was in the past. Maybe not the Hogwarts Express, though. Maybe that needs its own separate line. It needs to be on the regular city line because it doesn't make sense to have it in Hogwarts or in the Disney style amusement park just because there's the Disney castle, I guess, and Disney characters all around, because there's not really any Harry Potter stuff in the amusement park. So I guess it's just going to be the Disney train going around the amusement park like normal, maybe on something different that's not like a ballast track. And I'm for sure not going to build a monorail. I don't know how to build a monorail, and I'm not sure if the raised line is going to be going through the amusement park or not, like it used to. I don't know. There's still lots of question marks as to what I'm going to do over there. I have no idea. It's going to be an adventure, everybody. Just a straight-up adventure. Patrick asks, do you plan on having your Lego city as dense as it was before, or do you plan on scaling up some of your landscapes similar to the ones at Brick World? Yeah, we're going to scale up the landscaping division a lot. I love the landscaping, man. I love landscaping. It just looks so good. And I want to spread things out a bit more. My modular buildings will probably be as tight, but I want more like landscape. I want to focus on making beautiful landscapes. That's my goal. I just think they look so good. I love the color that they offer and the little stories and the different textures and everything. I love landscapes, and we're definitely going to try and up our game in that regard. Naman Kapoor asks, what Lego theme do I enjoy building most? You know, I say Star Wars a lot, just because it has like a nice combination of Technic and system. Like normally it's Technic and it's got the exterior shell, which is system. But my favorite theme to build for sure is modular buildings. I love to build modular buildings. Yeah, they're my favorite to build. I just like how satisfying they are. They quickly go together. There's little detailed mini builds inside. I love to build those. They're fantastic. But Star Wars is right up there as well. And just like any icons, but mainly buildings. I think I like buildings the most. Yeah, they're fun to build. TC Tiger Tom asks, do you and which non-Lego YouTubers do you watch? I watch Mrs. Rachel mainly. She's mainly on in the background for like an hour or so a day just to keep the kids entertained. So I watch a lot of her. Tim Tracker, I still enjoy the Tim Tracker. He's a beauty. Tim and Jen. And then I watch an RC YouTuber. What's his name again? Kevin Talbot. Kevin Talbot, yeah. He's a pretty cool RC YouTuber. And I love RC cars. I want to get a Traxxas X-Max so bad. I want one so bad. I've been thinking about it for like 2 years and I haven't bought one because they're like over... Well, the good ones, the new ones that came out this year with like the aluminum components are like over 2,000 Canadian dollars plus the battery pack. So they're like, when it's all said and done, you're up to like $3,000. But they're like the best RC car, in my opinion, that you can buy. They're just like these monsters, man. Like, I want to buy one so bad, but I've never pulled the trigger. Oh, I want to get one so bad. I love watching his channel, though, because he's got so many RC cars, and he's, like, so good at, like, whatever, customizing them, and he's just, I don't know, entertaining to watch. I like watching his stuff, too. In addition to him, I watch some other RC channels as well. I'm subscribed to, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 of them. I like RC cars. It's like a little side hobby of mine that I've never really invested in. I've bought, like, sort of a piece of crap one, and I broke it, and I never got around to fixing it. But I would love to get the good one because I think it would be more durable than the crappy one that I got. So yeah, I want to get a huge Traxxas X-Max. Whoa, cheapers creepers, those kids are having fun up there. Lucas loves you. Would you ever consider using Lego alternatives like Go Bricks? No, I would not. What kind of camera do you use for your videos, and do you use it for your time-lapse videos? I use my DJI Osmo Pocket 3 for my time-lapse videos now. I used to use my GoPro, but I now use the Osmo Pocket 3. That's mainly what I've been using as of late. I also use my Sony ZV-1. That's what I'm using right now. And I use my phone a lot. Those are the three primary cameras that I use right now. I also have the Sony AX53 camcorder, which I haven't been using. It's got incredible optical zoom, but I feel like the sensor on it isn't as good, and it's not as good with the colors when I compare them, or when I compare it to the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 and also the Sony ZV-1 that I'm using right now, and also my phone. Yeah, those are the main cameras that I use. Matt asked if I purchase Creator 3-in-1 sets. If you do you purchase 3 boxes to have all 3? Oh, no, I don't. No. The only Creator 3-in-1 stuff that I collect are the buildings mainly. I've done some rebrickable models with the buildings, and I've also made like the little beach modular buildings are based off the Creator 3-in-1 sets, but I always bulk them up with my own parts, completing the back. I did that with the noodle shop, the deli, the bike rental shop. I converted one into a candy store. I also did that with the the surf shop. So I like using the Creator 3-in-1 stuff for that. Also, I have like the spaceman, the astronaut up there. I have the pirate ship, the Viking ship. But no, I don't do all 3. I usually just stick to the primary model. This is the final question. Do I plan on expanding the zoo when I get the bigger space? I don't see why I wouldn't. I think it'd be a cool idea. Yes, I foresee myself expanding the zoo. I really want to focus on the landscape, and the zoo would be part of that. The zoo, the forest, the Ninjago, the medieval. There's going to be a giant table that is specifically dedicated to all of that stuff. And the zoo will definitely get an expansion. I can't just transfer the zoo and say, there we go, it's done. No, it needs to be upgraded. Everything needs to be done bigger and better. Everybody, thank you so much for coming on by. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Ask Bricksie. It is the 22nd one. How cool is that? Thank you so much for all of your great questions. Remember to submit your questions in the comments section below, and they will potentially be answered in episode 23. Remember to have yourselves a fantastic day, like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Farewell.